to another fabulous week of distance learning. It's our final week in April, so let's make the most of it. It'll be a great week. We will have 2 days of new learning, and then we're going to apply that new learning to GeoWorld for 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday. And then we'll have choice time on Friday. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I can't wait to hear about your highs and lows. Can't wait to connect with you all this week and to walk through this together. Stay tuned and I will take you through a tour of what this week looks like. On our Google Classroom. I posted this announcement on Friday. I'm not sure if you were able to read it yet. Again, let's please keep all of our riddles and our back and forths with each other in our Google Chat. You can get to Google Chat by clicking on your waffle, clicking your chat, and then you can see our Super Smart Sloth Google Chat right here. So let's make sure that we keep our fun stuff like riddles and things in our Google Chat. As far as our managing goes, when it comes to our Google Classroom, I want you to do all of your business in classwork. Click classwork every day, and then you can see that I've added like these emojis to go with all of our topics. Right now we're in Unit 6, so my screen looks a little bit different, obviously, but just know that all of your work can be managed just by clicking classwork, and you'll be able to see the light gray items are items that you still need to turn in, and then the dark gray items are items that you have submitted. So by the time you are watching this, you have already clicked on our slides for today. Oops, sorry, that's for Tuesday. You're clicking on our slides for today. Like I said, we have 2 days of new learning, then 2 days of GeoWorld. Today we're going to be continuing to work on volume and operations in multiplication. That's going to be lesson 6. What we're going to be doing is looking at more complex figures, and we're going to be determining the volume of these figures. Sometimes we're going to have to solve a mystery. This one, for instance, we know that this whole piece from this point to this point is 4, but we don't know exactly what that dimension is. So now we're going to have to work backwards using the clues. If this height is 2, then this height is 2, which means this height is going to be 2. So I think you'll really enjoy using the clues to figure out the dimensions that you need to determine the volume, so have fun with that. As far as our GeoWorld goes, this week you're going to begin working on the maze. So I'm going to post all of the instructions on that. And it's really going to be one task that's going to take you both Wednesday and Thursday. So have fun, enjoy today. I'm going to do one quick problem here with us. We're not really introducing any new content with this. We're just applying what we know about volume to more, like I said, more complex problems. So stay tuned and I'm going to do a problem here for you folks. Okay, so this problem in lesson 6 is super cool because you have to kind of solve some mysteries. So the instructions tell us to find the volume of this whole figure. Notice that this whole figure is made out of I'll say like this is prism A and this is prism B. So this whole figure is made out of 2 prisms. In order to determine the volume of this whole figure, or this like whole structure, we would have to add the volume of A and B together. Sometimes the dimensions will be like very clearly posted, but sometimes they will not be. So let's look at A. Let's see what we know. So, well, first of all, we know that the volume is equal to the length times the width times the height. And we can multiply those in any order because multiplication, the commutative property, allows us to do this in any order. So I'm looking for the 3 dimensions for A. So I see that A is 2 inches tall. I need to figure out how deep, how wide is this? How far back does A go? Well, I don't see that listed on any of these blue lines on A, but I do notice that A and B are completely aligned. I notice that the depth, or the width, of A and B is the same. So if this is 5, here's what I mean about solving the mystery and kind of working backwards. If this is 5, then this is 5, and this is 5, because you can see that they all line up perfectly. Okay, so I have a height, I have a width, and then the length is given to us. Thank you so much for making that easy on us. So we're going to use that fancy college shorthand, and we're going to write out this awesome formula. Remember, we talked about this a few months ago. This just means the volume of A is equal to those 3 dimensions. 3 times 5 times 2. So the volume of A is going to give us 3 times 5, which is 15, and then 15 doubled is going to be 30. So the volume as A is 30 inches cubed. Keep in mind our unit is cubed because we're talking about cubes. Essentially, we're talking about how many cubes fills up that prism A. Now we have to determine what is the volume of B. So let's go ahead and figure out what dimensions we have for B. So we have, okay, cool. So we have the width, which is 5, and we have the height, which is 4, and then, oh my gosh, we also have the length. So that one was actually not as tricky as some of the ones that you're going to be working on. So I just want to remind you that if the dimensions are not clearly labeled, make sure you're solving the mystery using the information that is given. Sometimes, for instance, I've seen problems. No, you'll see what I mean, and then I'll give you feedback as you need it. So the volume of B can be found by multiplying 6 times 4, 6 times 5 times 4. 6 times 5 is 30, and then we're looking at 30 times 4. Let's use what we know about multiplying by powers of 10. Let's look at 3 times 4 first, which is 12, and then we're bringing 1 0 to the party. So that's going to be 120. So we want to now determine the volume of figure AB. We'll say that this whole structure can be referred to as figure AB, and we can determine that by taking 30 inches cubed. Oops, I forgot to label my unit here. My apologies. 30 inches cubed plus 120 inches cubed, which we can just go ahead and add up. Horizontally, we are looking at 150 inches cubed for that whole structure. Cool. So have fun with this. Use the clues that are given to you. Let me know what questions you have, but most of all, have a wonderful Monday, and I'm sending you all lots of love and virtual hugs. I will see you for office hours too, if you need those. Those are open today from 10 to 10.